Yo, welcome to another episode of the motherfucking Hot Seat.
What's good?
We're out here in LA. We're getting this shit going back again after like a year and a half hiatus. And we're here with no other than any kind of music. Well, how could we say your name pronounced?
Any. It's just like
go.
you said
MC
it.
ENI
Any
or
kind
any?
of music.
It depends on what
DJ,
persona.
It depends on what the show is. If I'm MCing, it's MC ENI. If I'm DJing, it's just
Alright,
any.
so tonight we're here with MC ENI and shit, bro. We're here with Chemo too. We got the whole squad.
What's good, what's
Chemo,
good?
We got Adrian.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. But shit, and yeah, man. I'm happy to have you back on the podcast or the
I'm
interview
happy
section.
to be back. It's
Hell
been
yeah, dude.
quite a while since the last time we all been
real
together.
Real shit, man. I mean,
Dude, literally since right before the pandemic.
I'd say so, just about that.
It was like
Yeah,
November, I think, the last time we were all at a show together.
I think so. I think you're
Since-
2
exactly
years.
Right. Yep.
Since then, all right, so COVID hit. What were you doing during COVID? Like, how did you end up
Oh man.
did you end up producing more? What was the case?
So, I started getting back into some of my production. I hadn't really worked on music production in a long time. Right at the end of pandemic was when I really started to get back into production. I was actually working straight through the entire pandemic. I'm almost more than I'd ever worked before.
Working as in on music or working as in your day job?
What
Everything,
paid
right?
job, everything
Okay.
else. So I'm an audio engineer and I work in film and entertainment on
Yeah,
the regular besides DJing and
I want to
everything
ask you
else.
about that, yeah.
So when pandemic hit, a lot of my regular film audio jobs and lighting jobs and stuff disappeared, but a new position opened up, which was COVID compliance. The dude who makes sure everybody keeps their mask on.
Yeah, I know
Wow.
what
The
you
guy
mean.
who's like making sure everybody's been tested on set, everyone's checked in okay, everyone's got a mask, everyone's staying 6 feet apart. I was the guy who was like, excuse me, sir, I need you to put your mask back on.
Oh, you were that guy.
So I was that guy on set. Dude, I was busier than ever. I found a friend of mine started a company doing that, and so he asked me if I wanted to start working doing
Okay.
that. I didn't have any other work, so I was like,
How
Get
much
me
how
in.
much pushback did you get from doing that?
dude. I used to get in absolute arguments and fights with people. Like, I remember one day I was working on a commercial, and it was literally the end of the day. We're wrapping out. I walk up to a guy, and I'm like, hey, man, I know it's the end of the day. We're wrapping. We're almost out of here. I need you to put your mask back on. He's like, dude, screw you, man. Like, I'm away from everybody else. I can't be around like this shit. This was right at the beginning, so we
just
had to
doing your
be
job.
real serious about it. As it got further on, people got more lax, but at the beginning, everyone was like real serious about it, so I had to be like, nah, man, I need you to put your mask on. She's like, nah, screw you, whatever. He finally puts it on. As soon as I walk away, I look behind me, and he goes, and I'm just like, oh, man,
Testing you.
I don't want to walk back over there. Don't make me do it, bro. So I walked back over there. I told him again. I walked off. He did it again, and at that point, I'm just like, I'm only going to be here an hour longer. I can't care anymore. Because
It's fair to say you got over that pretty quickly, huh?
everybody got over it real quickly. I mean, it sucked. It was part of the job. You had to do it. You know, I hated it.
It is
it's
what it
definitely
is.
not what I wanted to do, but it paid the bills.
Hey, real
and,
shit. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, brother.
Yeah, it kept me afloat.
But
So-
besides that, I did notice today on your Instagram that you posted something about doing a docu-series with GATA.
That's correct.
What, that Little Dicky show?
Yes, GATA
Yeah.
from the Little Dicky Show. I'm an audio engineer on
Yeah.
film sets. That's my normal thing. So I got contacted to do. It's a docu-series.
Yeah.
And so GATA right now today, he just ran a 5K in New York.
Yo,
And
what the fuck?
So he has bipolar disorder.
Oh yeah, I seen that in the
And
the
so,
show. Yeah.
When New Balance, when he contacted New Balance and New Balance found out that he was running
Dude.
this 5K, they wanted to do a docu-series about him and his mental health and getting healthy and running.
Yo, that's so fucking
the
sick.
director contacted a fellow audio engineer friend of mine
Yeah.
who wasn't available, and he passed on my number.
Bro.
So I ended up recording all the dialogue for the docu-series on it.
Dude.
Check it out. It's really awesome. It's on YouTube. what is it called? It's called.
We'll try to find the link and put that shit below.
We'll find the
for
link.
Sure.
But it's
For sure,
dope.
for sure.
It's really
it sounds
awesome.
dope, bro.
It's
Just the
super
picture
well
itself, I'm
directed.
like, honestly, when I saw the picture, I thought it looked like a meme.
Yo,
and I sent you a message, but I couldn't
I
really
know,
see the
yeah.
reply. But like, I'm gonna ask him on the interview. I'm like, I need to get this shit going.
It's serious stuff. It's really awesome. He talks about his mental health, his physical health, coming to terms with all of that, getting healthy, running. You know how physical activity keeps him healthy, and how even like he has such a busy schedule between music and film. And I mean, I pull a lot of similarities out of it because he's a very multimedia type of guy.
Yeah.
He's rapping, making music, working in TV and film.
Yeah.
You know, he's in fashion. He's trying to do some philanthropy. He has a whole like different thing, and I see a lot of that in myself. And that I do
That's
music.
what's up.
I
So
work
you
behind the
inspire off
scenes.
of that, huh?
So I get a lot of connection out of him with him, and he's got a lot of really good things to say about keeping your head together, keeping in a good space.
I'm definitely gonna give
while
that shit a
still
listen,
having,
bro.
you know, a lot of stuff on your plate. So
Going off of that, I know COVID happened. Did you end up falling into any like depression or any dark moments when you were going through COVID? Because I know many artists that we've interviewed before say that. They're like, just because we didn't have shows, like we lost connections with everybody and now we gotta start from the beginning up. And it's just like, maybe just give us a little brief example of that.
it's tough. I didn't totally lose a lot of my connections. I mean, they've definitely become a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a reset, and I saw it as kind of a new opportunity, whereas like in the past couple of years, I know I've been slacking on a couple of things when it comes to my DJing.
Hey, you and us both, bro. For me and
my
the podcast, I
content
understand that.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, here's time to take a step back, reassess everything that I'm doing, how I want to do it. I definitely had some struggles and some hard times. My girlfriend just moved down in with me last year. I moved to a whole new place.
Yeah.
I moved into a new apartment in the middle of pandemic.
Yeah, get it. I feel that.
And I got to a point where I felt like things were stagnant and changes needed to happen. And I knew things were crazy, but I also knew that it was like, it's the right time to do it. Because
never doubt yourself,
everything was nuts.
Yeah,
everything was crazy. Nothing was normal. And it was like, well, if now's the time to make some crazy moves and do some different shit, now's the time. So,
if you don't mind me asking, what was the final straw that pushed you towards making those decisions?
You have to be too specific,
yeah,
but
like, you know, what was it that made you say, like, you know what, like, I'm slacking a little bit in this field, I should focus more on this? What was the actual thing that pushed that motivation?
It was at the end of pandemic when shows started to kind of come back, and I saw some of my friends getting some bookings and some more bookings, and I'd watch my friends with a lot of their own visuals and things and working on their own content and coming out with this awesome, really cool stuff, and I was like, man, I really need to put more of my effort into more than just working on my DJ mixes and then being there to MC, but also working on visuals to go with my shows and my stage performances. And, you know, I needed to get back into making my own music because while I like playing other people's stuff, there were always things that I wanted to do to other people's tracks that you can't do exactly live.
Yeah,
and you have to make an edit. And so I was like, man, I really want to have those edits. And I was hearing tracks that I was like, this track needs a remix. This track is awesome. It's got some really cool vibes and it'd be really cool in hardcore or hardstyle or freestyle. I'd love to make that happen. And I know it's not going to happen overnight. And that was the thing that got me really frustrated and kind of discouraged me when I first started producing.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people feel like, oh, I have the idea in my head. I get the DAW, I have the idea, and then it just happens and the song's there. And it takes like 2 seconds and I can just put my song on paper and it's done. But it takes so much more work than anybody really ever realizes. And every time I jump back in, it always reminds me you can't just go in half measures. It takes a full effort. You gotta put your all in.
Yeah.
If you want to make it as a DJ, as an MC, as a producer, you have to go in full force. You can't just be like, well, you can still do it as a hobby, but if you want to like make it something serious,
same as anything.
You have to go in seriously.
110%. You have to just go in there. Yeah, you have to go in there, and you gotta show up. First of all, you gotta show up and present, and just be ready whenever the opportunity strikes. You know, I completely understand that, man. Man, there's no like. What you just said just like goes in line the way I think about my podcast and the way I think about the interview. And like, no matter what, like before the whole COVID shit, like we were on a good trajectory. Then we just like flatlined so hard where I'm like, personally, I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to do this. I got away from photography. I got away from all my passions. And then coming back with COVID, seeing like getting inspired through movies, getting inspired through Instagram and everything. I'm just like, you know what? We need to fucking get back on this shit. Like, I can't give up on this. Like, I love this. Like, I love the music. I love promoting DJs. Our goal from the beginning was like, we just want to like create or try to help create an event somewhat to DEF CON, but here in the fucking States. You get me? Like, I want that full commitment. And I mean, people are showing up. And as for yourself, like, the way you were talking about trying to create new things for yourself and trying to mix. Well, you just threw down a set at the last Army of Hardcore. That's right. Now you're here emceeing. Then you're gonna be at Fresh Anniversary next month. That's like, bro, I could see you trying to work and trying to get out there again. And I'm honestly, that's what's up, bro. It's all it is.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, man.
It's all about the effort you put in, like you said.
Yeah.
Like
well, before you get ahead of yourself, just get back. My last question, so we could get you back and rest your voice, because you're about to MC most of the fucking night tonight. So, one message you have for any MC, any DJ, any artist, any upcoming person who even thinks about going into producing or DJing. What would be your main message to them right now?
Do your passion, do what you love. Never let that love go. Always enjoy it. Have as much fun as you can. And don't let that joy fade away. If it feels like it's fading away, take your time, take your break so you can get back in it. But always enjoy what you're doing. If you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. It's what they say.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so true. It's true.
So fucking true. All right, well, that wraps up another episode of The Hot Seat. Here we got MC ENI.
Thank you all.
Chemo. We got Kid and Chino in the back, and myself, Suave. Peace.
Take care, y'all. Have a good one. Good night.